Oh my God, that's loud. That sounds loud. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you guys. I'm coming in hot already. This is the very first Demonverse After Dark of the, what is this? The off season? Is that what we call it? The off season, yes. Oh, and there's a lot to talk about. We got champions here, by the way. We've got first of all, I just want to say to Ashley and to Rowdy, who gave us the most epic battle during the Super Bowl that we may have ever seen in the Demonverse. More title changes than we've ever witnessed. You guys are incredible. Really appreciate it. I mean, people were still talking about it in Discord. It was an incredible, incredible, incredible night. There is Ashley's name on her title right there. And Rowdy is the #1 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for them. They are incredible. All the support means the world to me. You guys are awesome. My socks are soaked. The entire job site is flooded. My arms hurt, and I was given a surprise OT. Rowdy, no, you put me in touch with who I need to talk to, and I will take care of that for you. Oh, no. Lot going on. Thank you to everybody for hanging out. This is going to be our new thing. Thursday night Demonverse After Dark. And if I add a night or something somewhere along the way, I'll let you guys know for sure. But something, we all like wrestling, right? Well, most of us like wrestling anyway. And in wrestling, sometimes we see what's called a heel turn. And if you don't know what a heel turn is, that means when somebody is a good guy and they turn bad. Or it can also mean there's also another meaning behind it. Typically, it's when you have a faction or a tag team, something of that nature, guys that get along or girls that get along, and one of them turns on the other one. That's a heel turn. And I turned heel on Fernando Mendoza this year. And Red X Power comes in and says the offseason begins. He's a Jets fan, by the way. And by the way, he is the supreme ruler of the stream. The throne is no longer open, and Red X is a massive, massive, massive former Demonverse champion. Back when it was called the Multiversal Champion, the very first ever. Thank you, Red X. Let me get your name up where it belongs on screen as this pertains to you, what I'm about to say, by the way, Red X. I turned heel on Fernando Mendoza this year because the New York Jets didn't get the first overall pick, so I decided it was time to turn heel on him. I was a major supporter of him all season, and I turned my back on him. Well, I didn't turn my back on him physically, but if I can just paint a picture for you, imagine him and I are standing somewhere on stage in a wrestling ring or whatever you want to call it, and he turns his back on me for a second to look at the crowd, and he gets met with a kick to the face when he turns back to me. That's what happened. That's what happened with Fernando Mendoza. And what I heard today made me think I might have made a mistake. I might have to go crawling back to him on my hands and knees and ask him to beg him to forgive me for that heel turn. Because if you listen to what Clint Kubiak said when he had his opening press conference for the Las Vegas Raiders as the new head coach, they asked him specifically about Fernando Mendoza, and he kind of brushed it off. He talked more about Max Crosby. He seems like he's more interested in keeping Max Crosby than he is in drafting Fernando Mendoza. Now, that could just be, it could either be a smokescreen or maybe he hasn't given it a lot of thought. He said, I need to look at the tape. Which is kind of a weird thing to say. Maybe he wants to see if people will put offers on the table for him, not play, it could be a whole number of different reasons. But what's interesting is he didn't say, yeah, we're definitely taking him. That's intriguing to me. Because maybe I have to fix Red X Power's name on screen for a second here. Maybe he's considering not taking Mendoza. And if you're listening to a lot of the talk going on radio shows and television shows and whatnot, people are acting as if Fernando Mendoza is not that good. that he shouldn't even perhaps be the number one overall pick. It happens every year, I think. There are guys that all of a sudden we look at them and we say, well, not we, but people who do this for a living, I guess, they start nitpicking all these little things and saying, this guy might not be worth what we think he's worth. And now Rowdy Eggplant comes in and eye pokes Ashley. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, I got to move the names up here. I screwed something up. But it's so interesting because I'm thinking, I was so certain the Raiders were absolutely going to take Mendoza, and now I'm not so sure anymore. We have a new supreme ruler of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. That is Rowdy Eggplant. I'm going to get his name up on screen. So it's interesting. Now, another thing that I heard that you guys may or may not have heard, Rowdy Eggplant says, I poke. I got to get that up. Hold on. I got to take a look at where we are with all of this. 27.95 is where Rowdy Eggplant is. So what I think is interesting is there's also been talk of Malik Willis and what a good fit he would be for the Raiders. And the Raiders have a lot of money, second most cap space in the league. So is there a scenario where the Raiders make a push to get Malik Willis? Because they could offer him like $30 million a year, right? They could offer him a Sam Darnold type of deal. And shop that first overall pick and get additional picks and maybe grab a receiver. Thank you, Rowdy. Rowdy is right there. There he is. As the supreme ruler of the stream. Could that be a possibility? I mean, Clint Kubiak might want to do that. I don't know. So what this means is I'm back in the Fernando Mendoza camp right now. I am. Because it might happen. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm reading a little too much into this, but you would have to consider that. No? If you're Clint Kubiak and Malik Willis is there and you're looking at him and saying, well, we just won a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. I can get a guy who looks good, can move, and he's not a rookie. And maybe, because another thing I'm hearing is Mendoza. So now the comparisons I'm hearing about Mendoza are he's Matt Ryan, a guy who maybe can't move as well as you would like him to. I don't know. This is all very, very interesting. Philip Quim said, get away from me. The Raiders still believe in Geno Smith? No, they are not. No. That is not happening. Red X Power says, Fernando's a good Christian man. He will forgive you. I know he will. And I will never turn my back on him again if that happens. Let's see. Isn't the season over? No. The season for the titles keep going until the next season starts. So you guys are champions all off season. There could be title changes all off season until the next season starts, and then on week one it reboots. So that's the way it goes in the Demonverse. Rowdy should be Demonverse champ. I believe in Rowdy. I think we're moving everything into the off season on a reset coming the new season. Yeah, so that's what happens. Is we that's the way I did it. I just didn't do a lot of streams last year, but everybody was still champion, and if you donated, I kept track of it. I don't think we had title changes in the off season, from what I remember, because I just didn't do a lot of streams. I did the draft. I think I did the one night of the draft. I did maybe like 3 streams in the off season, but I'm gonna be doing streams every Thursday. And except for PFA's birthday. PFA's birthday is February 26th. It falls on a Thursday, so I'll move that to like Wednesday or something. But other than that, I'm going to be doing this every week. But let's see. For week 1 is when it resets. So once week 1 starts, once we hit that Thursday night game of week 1, that's when the official start of the new season begins. What is up, Justin Spiewak? If Fernando's available, draft him. If not, draft the best defensive guy available. Arvel Reese is the guy I want if he's there. Another thing, speaking of football, Soldier of Nerdism is a Packers fan. He's in the chat. There was a list of coaches on the hot seat this year, and Matt LaFleur was on that list. He was like number 9. There were 10 coaches on the list. You know, the regular guys like Aaron Glenn was obviously topped the list. Nick Sirianni was on there. Todd Bowles was on there. There were like 10 guys. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much know. Dan Quinn was on there. But Matt LaFleur was on there, and that really disturbed me a little bit for Green Bay Packers fans. I don't know that it means anything. You know, it's just people talking. But man, I'll tell you. Another thing. So the Jets, and this is the genius of this man right here. I just want to explain to everybody what's been going on with the Jets. Everybody who follows the narrative that the Jets can't develop a quarterback and whatnot. Well, this man has heard that, and he has answered it by bringing in Frank Reich. And not only did he bring in Frank Reich, he brought in Bill Musgrave to be the quarterback's coach. Bill Musgrave has been in the league for a very long time. They were basically doubling down on guys who know how to develop quarterbacks for a reason. Maybe they know. Maybe they've been in talks with the Raiders already about that first pick. I don't know. But maybe they're just getting these guys on staff because they're looking to next year. It's interesting, though. All of a sudden, the Jets have guys on staff that can develop quarterbacks. It's because Darren Muji and Bill Musgrave worked in Denver with Darren Muji, so it wasn't just some random thing that happened. Very excited about that. Very excited. So this is going to be crazy as we go forward. I think the Rams are going to take Mendoza, but you never know. I'm going to keep an eye on Malik Willis, see where he goes. Another thing about having Frank Reich as the offensive coordinator, and I'm sure he's going to be a strong voice in terms of where we go with quarterback. He does not like small. He has like a phobia of small quarterbacks. If you are under 6'2", you're not going to be the quarterback in the New York Jets. Pretty much. I mean, that's what I see. We can look at, okay, we could say, well, maybe he missed on Bryce Young because he wanted C.J. Stroud, who I think C.J. Stroud could still be a good quarterback. I think he is a good quarterback. He throws a beautiful football. I think he needs protection. And without protection, he kind of falls apart. But under Frank Reich, he might have been very different. But Frank Reich didn't want Bryce Young and was basically forced into Bryce Young and then was gone shortly after that. That was probably partly his decision. So what does this tell me? No Tua, because people have been saying, the Jets going to go after Tua, who's probably going to get cut, because I think that would make the most sense for the Dolphins. No Kyler, which I'm completely fine with. There could be a Derek Carr scenario. I think Kirk Cousins makes the most sense. I would love Geno Smith if we don't have a shot at Mendoza this year. Give me Geno Smith. Let's get the first overall pick and let's just go. Let's go. Here's JB100 comes in with a 5 says, can we talk about how objectively horrid the Giants offensive staff is? Yes, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, Bill Callahan, John Harbaugh has lost his mind. The Greg Roman thing was a head scratcher. The Matt Nagy thing was a head scratcher to me. Brian Callahan to help develop a young quarterback. I don't hate that. I mean, I get it. He didn't look great in his stint as a head coach, but I think maybe when he doesn't have all that to worry about, perhaps he can help out Jackson Dart. But Greg Roman and Matt Nagy was that's the problem that I have with having a CEO type of head coach, where I don't know. He gets to make all the decisions. This is all John Harbaugh right now, making all the decisions, and that is that. Pretty much. Thank you, JB. Thank you so much. Let me make sure that I have everybody's names here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants do. Now, I think the Giants, well, I mean, what did they have? 4 wins this year? I would assume they're going to improve that. They're probably going to double that. But are they going to be the team that everybody assumes they're going to be? And when I say everybody, I mean everybody that's been talking about them in the media and saying the Giants are going to be the most improved team and blah, 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 blah. They shouldn't. I haven't even looked at their schedule. The schedule shouldn't be bad. The Eagles are probably not going to be what they were. The Eagles, I think, might be a mess this year. I think the Cowboys are going to be good. I don't know. Looking at it, they're probably going to franchise tag George Pickens. Depending on what happens in the draft is going to play a major role. Like if the Cowboys come out of the draft with like Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles or something, that's going to drastically improve their defense. So the Matt Eberflus not being there is going to drastically improve their defense. And people are talking about Brian Schottenheimer like he's nothing. The guy, his offense looked pretty damn good this year. So I don't know where that's coming from. The very wise and sage-like Darren Muji is looking closely at Mendoza. Yes, he's looking. I mean, the thing is, he's ready. He's prepared for anything that's coming our way. So if Mendoza is available, I think the Jets would be a better situation for Mendoza anyway. Number one, because of Frank Reich. I think he would fit Frank Reich's system better. And it is a bit of an antiquated system. I'm not blind to that fact, but the guy can develop a quarterback. That's what I care about. But I think the fact that our offensive line is in much better shape than Vegas's offensive line would be a big plus for him. And again, I don't think he would have to come out and start right away. If they brought in a Kirk Cousins, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. Eagles are a dumpster fire. Cowboys, we won't know until the first game. Yeah, the draft is going to tell us a lot with the Cowboys. The Commanders are interesting. I don't know what to expect from them. Can Jaden Daniels stay healthy? What are they going to do in the offseason in terms of free agency? I heard Dan Quinn wasn't happy with the way Cliff Kingsbury ran the offense, where Jaden Daniels was in shotgun most of the time. He wasn't under center a lot of the time. He wants him to be under center more. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting division. I have my eyes close on that. I'm very intrigued by that division and how it's going to go. Stop thinking. You aren't good at it, says Tim Daniel. Here's an Eagles fan. He's upset. He's upset because he knows what's going to happen. I mean, listen, Tim, you have to look at this logically. Jalen Hurts can't throw over the middle of the field. You might lose A.J. Brown. Landon Dickerson might retire. Landon Dickinson. Is it Dickinson or Dickerson? I think it's Dickinson. He might retire. Is that true? Your offensive line coach said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I mean, there could be major issues with Philly. We'll have to see. But I don't know. This could be Nick Sirianni's last year. He might not make it through the season if they start out slow, and it looks bad. I'm telling you, man. I saw that Aussie won the gold in moguls. Are we talking about the Olympics? I haven't watched any of the Olympics. I saw people were talking about Spider-Man Noir when we first came on with Nicolas Cage. That looks the trailer to that looks very interesting. There's a trailer for a new Netflix show that is like a horror-based show that is produced by the guys who did Stranger Things. So I'm looking forward to that. That trailer should drop tomorrow, from what I understand. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. AFC North is the easiest division next year. I'm going to go insane if we don't win it. I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what happens with Cincinnati. If you have a healthy Joe Burrow there, that's going to be tough. And if they improve their defense, which they could do that. They've improved the offensive line, which they could be a scary team just because of the Joe Burrow factor. It's interesting. what's going to happen with the Steelers. I think the Steelers will actually be improved under Mike McCarthy, but believe it or not, because he's going to focus more on offense. I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts now where they have Ty Simpson going there. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, you have Ty Simpson backing him up, learning from Rodgers, whatever you could learn from Rodgers. They could be an interesting team. Probably, I mean, you know, would 12 wins be out of the realm of possibility? I don't know. Very curious to see what the Ravens do, though. I mean, Ravens fans are assuming Jesse Minter is going to be an improvement. The record's going to improve suddenly with Jesse Minter there. We don't know that. We have no idea. But I did hear that King Henry is trying to get them to bring in A.J. Brown. That would be silly. That would, I think, silly in a good way. Samuel Miller's here. What's going on? Samuel, by the way, is the number 3 contender. There he is. He's a Bengals fan as well. How good is the Spidey finds the symbiote figure? Oh yeah, that looked really cool. Soldier sent me. Why does Philip Quinn's name keep moving around on here? Am I doing that? That was a really cool figure. They had is that in the Spider-Man Noir preview, by the way? Is that the Spider Totem? Is that who that guy is? There's a guy that looks kind of spiderish. I don't know. That's going to be interesting if that's the case there. Bengals improved offensive line. Crickets. They could improve the offensive line. They need to improve the offensive line. As if I were a Bengals fan, I would be hoping that they do that in the offseason, in the draft, that they address that in the draft. But every mock draft I'm seeing has them going defense. But, taking a guy who I believe is a couple of them, I have them seeing. I see them taking Caleb Downs, who I think is probably the best player in the draft. I saw David Bailey a couple of times, the edge. So I think they're both good players. They could both improve that defense, but I mean, could they turn the defense around? Not by themselves, obviously. There have been whispers that the Raiders may not take Mendoza. Yes, I was talking about that, Samuel Miller. I was talking about that. They might not take Mendoza. We'll see what happens with Malik Willis. We're probably going to find out in a few weeks what happens with Malik Willis, where he goes. People are saying the Dolphins, just because they're doing that whole Green Bay connection. I mean, did he have this great relationship with Hafley, the defensive coordinator, where he's just going to follow him there? And this other guy who's the Dolphins GM now, were they buddies, where he's just going to follow them because it's familiar? And people always make those connections, but why would he want to go to the Dolphins? Unless the Dolphins are going to offer him just a ton of money that no one else is going to offer. I could see that. But I don't know if the Raiders come hard at him, and again, they have the second most cap space. If they come hard at him, and again, you have Clint Kubiak talking to Max Crosby, sorry, not the kicker, Mason Crosby, talking to Max Crosby, and maybe he's convincing Max Crosby to stay there. All of a sudden, if the Raiders get a lot of draft capital for that first pick, you're looking at, let's say it's the Jets, right? Now they have the second overall pick. They could trade out of that pick if they wanted to. If they don't feel like going defense, they have they trade down to like 4 or 5 if they can. I mean, they would need a trade partner, but I mean, you're talking about them coming away from that draft. If they have Malik Willis, now all of a sudden they come away with a Cardinal Tate or Mekhi Lemon. Maybe they would probably end up getting the 33rd pick. I'm assuming that would have to be part of the package, or they can come away with an offensive guard. There's a couple of guards that I've seen in mock drafts that are going around that range. So that could be an interesting situation for the Raiders. That might actually make more sense. And again, you guys know how I feel about Fernando Mendoza. I would love for him to be a Jet, but I'm trying to look at this logically. I wouldn't say, oh, that would be stupid for the Raiders. Yeah, I hope they do it. No, I would say that actually makes sense. I wouldn't think it would be stupid. It would if he doesn't like Mendoza and he likes Malik Willis and you can get draft capital for that, it would make all the sense in the world. Philip Quinn is here. Hold on. Wait a second. Let's get his title on screen. He is your Demonverse champion. And there it is. Bam. What is going on, Philip Quinn? So what do you guys think? Do you think the Raiders will logically do? I'm going to put that up as a poll because I want to see how you guys feel about that. Do the Raiders sign Malik Willis and trade the number 1. Let's see what you guys say. It sounds outlandish, but it's not really if you think about it. Malik Willis is going to be one of, I mean, how old is he? What is he, 25? Malik Willis is young. And he's shown he can play. 26. So he's going to be 27 in May. Maybe that's what Kubiak wants. A guy who's been around now. He's played under LaFleur. He's learned a bit. He's seen real NFL action and kind of knows what he is, or feels like he knows what he is. And a guy who can move, and a guy who has a hell of an arm. Maybe that's what Kubiak wants. So that would be insane. That would be insane. What did Mike Causey say here? Mike Causey said, is he here? I think Ashley was, oh yeah, if the Raiders truly decide to pass on Mendoza, they have to be looking to trade that pick, right? Yeah, they would be looking to trade that pick. They would have to trade, they would likely trade with the Jets. They would likely trade with the Jets, and there would be a hefty price tag because they know they could do that. They could probably come away with a minimum of 2 first-rounders and probably the Jets' high second-rounder in this draft. So they would probably get a first, Jets' second overall, 33rd overall, and then a pick in 27. Among, maybe like a 4th round, sprinkle in a 4th rounder or something. I don't know that anybody else can offer a package like that. So I don't think it would be 3 first. That second pick in this draft, that first pick in the second round is very valuable. So that's almost the first. I mean, it's almost the first round if you think about it. So it would be a Raiders thing to do. Richard, please be serious, says Isaac. I mean, people are talking about Kubiak said he's got to look at the tape. He's not sure. So I'm just saying it's not such an outlandish idea considering Malik Willis is a quarterback that's going to be available. And Malik Willis would, what's his name? The former Green Bay Packers quarterback, Kurt Benekete, is that his name? He even tweeted about it earlier saying, you know what, Malik Willis would be insane in Clint Kubiak's offense. Just saying. So it's something to think about, and I'm sure Clint Kubiak is thinking about it because it's intriguing. It's intriguing. You're looking at a possibility of you being able to get a quarterback you want, a quarterback that is young and can move and can run your offense and has been in the league for a while, and you just won a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold on top of draft capital that can help him. Philip Quinn comes in with 55-55. It's going to be all 5s for the Demonverse champion. Says, Rich, did you like the website I sent on Discord? Also would love the running back from Notre Dame for the Saints. Yeah, Jeremiah Love. A lot of people have him going there. Some people have him going to the Saints. Thank you very much, Philip Quinn. Yeah, that site was cool. What I like about it is all the cap stuff. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I don't know how much you've played around with it, but the one thing that was bothering me is it kept crashing on me. Maybe it was just because of my phone, but it's one of the better sites that I've seen. Thank you very much for putting me onto that. Philip Quinn is your new supreme ruler of the stream. Let's get all of that taken care of right now. But yeah, that was a really cool site. I saved it because I'll sit there and mess around with those mock draft sites and whatnot. And that one's going to be my go-to. And I like all the cap stuff. I have to sit there and really, I could spend to me, it's like a video game, man. I could sit there and spend all day looking at that and just, you know what I mean? Staring at it and making moves. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. And I really shouldn't do that. I shouldn't spend that much time on it. Philip Quinn, there he is right there. Your supreme ruler of the stream. And we're going to get his offering information all up to date. It's going to be all 5s for the great Philip Quinn. Thank you so much, my friend. But yeah, I know Isaac's saying it's crazy. The Mendoza thing's crazy. But I am hearing so many people talk about how they don't like Fernando Mendoza. How they don't think he is worth what everybody's making him out to be. That the only reason why he's getting elevated is because he's the only quarterback worthy of a first-round pick this year. So, you never know. You never know what I said earlier, Isaac, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, if you're asking me, there we go, Philip Quinn. Thank you very much, my friend. If you're asking me what's going to happen, I'm thinking Kubiak's going to go Mendoza. But if I was a Raiders fan and you told me, listen, we're not going to take Mendoza, we're going to go Malik Willis, we're going to get a hell of a lot of draft capital, we're going to fix this team and be competitive right now, I wouldn't hate that. I would not hate that at all. He could probably talk Tom Brady into that. He said himself he's going to be on the phone with Tom. Like, Tom Brady is probably going to hate that he gave him his phone number because he's going to be on the phone with him constantly. So Kurt Benkurt's an idiot, says Isaac. He's not the only one that said it, though. I'm just saying he said that. Soldier says, I see what you did there, Philip Quinn. Ashley says, the most devastating move. That's right, So Philip Quinn came in to the middle of the ring, saw the first person he looked at, I'm terrible at this, and just hit him with a Philip pile driver. Grabbed the mic and said, I want Julian Love. Is it Julian Love? Jeremiah Love. Is it Jeremiah Love? Julian Love is the guy on the Saints. Okay, I get a little turned around with these names sometimes. That would be a phenomenal pick. If the Saints took Mekhi Lemon too, though, man, Mekhi Lemon to me, I like as high as I was on Jackson Smith and Jigba when he's coming out. That's how high I am on Mekhi Lemon. I don't know that he's going to be the same player, but I think he's going to be the best receiver in this draft. I do like Carnell Tate too, but for me, Mekhi Lemon, man, oof. It's not so much about Malik as getting the draft capital completely rebuild the Raiders. Yeah. And it is a little bit about Malik, though, because if Kubiak doesn't see much of a difference in terms of, well, if I get Malik Willis, I mean, there's as much upside as if I get Fernando Mendoza, right? And they wouldn't have to pay Malik Willis a ton in terms of quarterback money, and you have the money to spend, so that's another thing. You have the money to spend, and then some, because you're going to be able to sign free agents. And then next year, you don't have the Geno Smith money that you'd be paying anymore. So you open up more draft cap. You open up more cap space. So, I mean, it makes sense for the Raiders. And it would actually be a sneaky good move if they did that. We would say, I'd buy so much Saint stock if Jeremiah Love became a Saint. Yeah, that would be incredible for them. And, man, the more I'm seeing, like every now and then on Twitter, I just see somebody post a Tyler Shuck clip. Just a couple of highlights, and I'm like, damn, man, this guy, like, how the hell did we miss out on him? Like, oh, God. Saints might win 13 games. Saints, I told you, Kellen Moore, I feel like once Philip Quinn and I had this discussion, I forgot what week it was. We were talking about it in here, and Philip Quinn seemed a little down on the Saints. But then, like, right from that point, there was an explosion, I feel like, in terms of what Tyler Shuck has done with Kellen Moore. Pairing him with Kellen Moore was great. I wanted Kellen Moore. I would have loved him as a head coach. I thought as an offensive coordinator he's the reason why I'm like, is Justin Herbert actually that good of a quarterback? That's another one that people are comparing Fernando Mendoza to. There, a lot of people are pulling back on Justin Herbert now because it was Anthony Lynn's fault, and then it was Brendan Staley's fault, and the list goes on and on and on, and it's like, okay, maybe it's actually Justin Herbert, and people are looking at Fernando Mendoza and saying he's very Justin Herbert-like. So, it happens all the time. Of course, we have to see the combine and everything, but people start talking. They start looking at these situations. There's a lot of talk of, kind of like what happens with the Alabama quarterbacks, right? Like, well, look at the situation they were in. They were just on a good team. You'd have to be terrible to not succeed in that situation. That's what's going on with Mendoza right now. I don't know that Mendoza is going to be a top 3 quarterback in the league, but he's going to be a starting caliber quarterback that can succeed in the right situation and play at a pretty high level. And I think the ceiling, which he may not reach, could be in the top 5. Could be. I don't know if he gets there, but I think he'll fall in that, 10, 7 to like 12 range or something, which we've never had in terms of quarterbacks that have been drafted by the New York Jets, and apart from when Brett Favre had his situation there when he was playing at a high level and then got hurt, but we've never had that for an extended period of time. What JB says, that's real. Kellen Moore has me questioning if Justin Herbert is really better than Bo Nix. Yeah. The JB says, is with me right there. Jay Garza says, your shorts are awesome, bro. I love the Christmas party shirt with the poison something. Bill Belichick gives the credit. Oh, that was the Bills Hall of Fame party. Yes. What's going on, Taps? Malik is going to Mike LaFleur. That could happen. We'll see. Does he want to go there though? I mean, will they be able to give him the money? I don't know what their cap situation is. Let's see, NFL cap space. But you don't know. Just because, and again, like we make these assumptions, like, oh, he's with Matt LaFleur, so he'll want to go with Mike LaFleur. We don't know that. Cardinals have $42 million cap space. Malik Willis is probably going to demand $30 a year. I mean, maybe not the man, but the Raiders can give him $30 a year. I don't know if the Cardinals can do that and improve their team. The Raiders can do that and improve their team. He's got Brock Bowers. He's got Ashton Genty there. I mean, they're like, hey, we're going to keep Max Crosby. We're looking to compete now. And looking at a guy who, I mean, Sam Darnold had a great record with Minnesota when he started for them. But, I mean, you're really looking at Kubiak and saying, well, I'm the guy who got Sam Darnold the Super Bowl, And you're kind of in the same position he was in, where we're like, we don't know what Malik Willis is. People are ready to just throw him in the trash. So it's intriguing for sure. Anyone who wants to try the website, there it is, sticktothemode.com. Let me pin that for everybody. I almost put you in timeout, Philip Quinn. That is sacrilege. I would have to Phantom Zone myself if I ever did that. Jeremiah Love equals J-Lo. But yeah, the Justin Herbert thing is real. I mean, how many excuses are we going to keep making for Justin Herbert? If they don't do anything this year, if it's more of the same, is it going to be Mike McDaniel? Or are we going to say, oh, it's Mike McDaniel? And everybody's looking at Mike McDaniel like, oh, this is the situation where Justin Herbert's going to thrive. But he should have thrived with Kellen Moore. And then Greg Roman goes there. We don't know what Greg Roman is, but he should have thrived with Kellen Moore, and he didn't. And that's where I was like, I don't know. But then John Harbaugh goes there, and it's like, okay, John Harbaugh is a hell of a coach. All right, let's see. And we're just getting more of the same. You know what I mean? Didn't Crosby ask for a trade? Yes. So here's the deal: is like he's been talking about wanting a trade or wanting to leave and whatnot, as guys typically do. But one of the first things Kubiak did when he went there was he sat down and had coffee with Max Crosby. He said, I saw him. He was the first one in the building to work out. So there's a guy saying he doesn't want to be a Raider, but he's still the first one showing up to work out. Going to the building. I mean, he could probably train at his house or at a local gym or something, but he's going to the facility to train. Then he sat down and had a talk with Kubiak. Kubiak went to him and said, listen, we want you here. I want you here. Please. Like, I want you here. So if you think about it, it could be, that could be another selling point, by the way, too. I'm going to bring in a veteran quarterback, Malik Willis. You saw what he did. We're not going to go through this rookie situation where we don't know what he is. And I'm going to get draft capital. And it's not going to be because you're gone. Because that was one of the things we looked at, right? Was, well, they could get draft capital for Max Crosby, but then you lose Max Crosby. And now you bring in a rookie quarterback, and you got the draft capital for Max Crosby, but you got to hope the rookie quarterback's good. Well, you could tell him, I'm bringing in Malik Willis. We're going to trade that first pick for a haul, and we're going to be competitive from here on out. This is a different situation now. Max Crosby looks at that and says, all right, I'm down with that. I mean, I don't know. It seems logical. This doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility at all. Herbert's window was never open. I mean, people try to force that thing open, right? I mean, we just looked at him and said, oh, he's big and has a lot of hair, so he's got to be a good quarterback, right? But no, that doesn't, I mean, the more and more I look at it, I'm just like, Is Crosby a good? I mean, is Herbert good? Is he as good as we're all making him out to be? I don't know. I mean, is Trevor Lawrence better? If we get the same thing with Mike McDaniel there, who's apparently supposed to be the unlock to Justin Herbert now, which Kellen Moore was supposed to be the unlock to Justin Herbert. But I don't. But then the other thing was, oh, they got Harbaugh now and Greg Roman, so it's going to be a strong run game. To be fair, also though, Justin Herbert's offensive line was absolute garbage, and they were just injury plagued. So we do have to look at that, but still, it's football. You can't if a certain aspect of your team falls apart as the quarterback. If you are a superstar quarterback, you should be able to make it work. But Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know. There's a lot. I was listening to Trent Dilfer too today, and he was talking about quarterback salaries and how maybe they should be different in the NFL. Where maybe you give, if you have a franchise quarterback, maybe instead of taking up most of the cap with that person's salary, maybe you offer them like an ownership stake in the team instead. And then that frees up space. And I'm just like, at first I was like, this sounds so ridiculous. But then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, all right, well, let's pump the brakes for a second and really zoom out. If you have a guy who, let's just take Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay, for example, right? You're like, Rodgers with Green Bay, he's going to be there for a long time. And they'll be talking about Green Bay, though. They always draft people's replacements like 7 years early. But, is that a wise thing, right? And when we're saying ownership stake, I mean, they have no power over anything. It's basically collecting a check. But that's an interesting take, because then his argument was football would be better because the elite quarterbacks would be able to have more help. And I thought about that and I was like, there's something to that. Because the playoffs this year without Joe Burrow, without Lamar, without Patrick Mahomes, I mean, some of the games are good, but I think we need those guys there. It just it doesn't feel right. We only get so long to watch these guys play, and to have playoffs without those guys because their rosters are lacking, I think it hurts the game. So, I mean, if Drake May had to go through Cincinnati against Joe Burrow, that's a different game. If he had to go through Baltimore, that's a different game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There was something there. I was pushing back on it originally, and then I stopped, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that does make sense. Mike Causey comes in with a fiver and says, I suck at projecting every position except inside linebacker. So my big prediction, Jay Sean Barham is about to start climbing draft boards. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, it happens. It happens, Mike Causey. As we get closer and closer to the draft, names that last year, Tyler Shuck, right? Was anybody talking about Tyler Shuck until we got closer to the draft? Not really. I mean, all of a sudden it was like, hey, this Tyler Shuck kid. But Mike Causey, by the way, is your number. Let me get his information on screen. Hold on. Mike Causey is your number 4 contender. Ladies and gentlemen, Denver Broncos fan. But I kind of like that when I heard Trent Dilfer talk about that. And I am not Trent Dilfer, by the way. Somebody suggested that I might be, because apparently I look like him. And we just both happen to be Caucasians with shaved heads and facial hair. I look like, to most people in the world, I look like any person who has a shaved head and facial hair. So there's Mike Causey right there. Thank you very much, my friend. We'll keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for him. Oh boy! All right, let me get your info updated here. Got it there. Got it there. We're good. We're good, Mike Causey. All right. Void, wish your dad the best. Best to you, your family, your dad. Hope everything goes well, man. You need any type of pick-me-up, join us here in the Demonverse. We're here to do that for you, man. You'll be in all of our thoughts. Ashley says, good luck, Void. Wishing him the best. Lamar had injuries this year and the worst guard ever. I think he'll look a lot better next season, fully healthy. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We have to see what the offense. I don't know what the offense is going to look like. Well, who's your offensive coordinator? I don't even know who they brought in as an offensive coordinator. Anytime you have a new coach and you're bringing in a new system, you're bringing in these new guys. You always have to hold your breath for a moment because you just never know what it's going to be like. But yeah, a healthy Lamar. But that's another thing with Lamar is he's getting older. What is he going to be, 28? It's crazy that these guys are going to be on the wrong side of 30 soon. How old is he, Lamar Jackson? Age 29. He just turned 29. So this is a guy who relies heavily on his legs. Isn't the biggest guy in the world, and he's starting to get hurt. So that's I don't know, man. Again, there were talks of maybe the Ravens trade Lamar to somebody. I don't think that would happen, but from my perspective, right? If I'm a team that is right there and we're just missing, like the Jets a few years ago, we were just missing a quarterback. But we had the defense. We're able to do everything except complete passes or run an offense because of our quarterback. In that situation, I'm like, yeah, we'll give you 2 firsts for Lamar, sure. Let's go win the Super Bowl, maybe 2. Or try, or at least get close to it. But like in a situation right now, they were saying like trading Lamar to the Raiders, which is nonsense, but people were talking about that. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense. You're going to trade Lamar to the Raiders, are going to give up draft capital to get Lamar Jackson. Like, what sense does that make? You're going to give them no offensive line. They're not getting any draft capital now, but now they have Lamar Jackson. That doesn't help them. The 33rd pick in the draft, the San Antonio Pterodactyls choose Fumbles the Clown. Wait a minute, we have the 33rd pick in the draft. How the Pterodactyl? We trade with the Pterodactyls? He missed practices every year for the last 3 years due to him not feeling well. Dislike, unlike, mislike, whatever it takes to punish Josh, he deserves it. Josh, the intern, or Josh Allen are we talking about? Because both of them are in that boat for me. Next year, Nuka Bet says, my wife has to convince me to be a Patriots fan. You can't change your fandom, Nuka Bet. No. You can't do that. You can't do that. Let me see what's going on in the Twitterverse here. Let's see them. What Connor Hughes is saying, this logic conceivably would rule the Jets out. So they're talking about Derek Carr. So Derek Carr did an interview with someone about coming out of retirement. Would I come back? The answer is yes. Would I do it for anybody? Absolutely not. I have to be healthy and have a chance to win a Super Bowl. So I ruled Derek Carr out for us. I'm fine with that because I don't want him throwing hospital balls to Garrett Wilson. I don't want Garrett Wilson being put in danger at all, like Derek Carr hospital balls. So if Derek Carr thinks there's a team out there who's on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl and they're going to look to him, maybe he's looking at Indianapolis or something like that. But I don't know that are they bringing you in to just give you the starting job right off the bat? Or are they going to say, well, you can be a backup in case something happens to Daniel Jones? So I believe they're going to bring back. I don't know. And remember, Anthony Richardson's also a guy who's going to be out there. We're going to have there's Anthony Richardson. There's Will Levis. There are guys that are young and out there. And a team like Minnesota, I don't know that Anthony Richardson will ever be good. Let me just say that. But a team like Minnesota could do that. I don't know that they would look to Derek Carr, though. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Because they won 9 games in the situation they were in. I don't think they'll go Will Levis, though. Because then it's like, if he can't play, if you can't fix that, I think that Minnesota might be a realistic option for him. Who knows? Ashley comes in with a 20 spot, says, Joey B is the world's greatest quarterback. He's going to take the Bengals back to the Super Bowl next season. Really, I promise. Also, Sean Cantrell is here. Whoa, hold on. Thank you very much, Ashley. I did not see Sean Cantrell. Sweet Sean music is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get his title up on screen. All right, we got all the champions represented right now. I love it. I absolutely love it. There we go. Yes. All right. Thank you, Ashley. Let me get your total updated as the television champion. Man, that's a lot of math for me. I know it's not. That shouldn't be too much math. I got it. I don't even have to pull out a calculator. Look, you guys are making me better at math, which makes me a better person, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, so that's interesting. Thinking about Derek Carr, maybe that's what he's hinting at. He's like, hey, listen, Minnesota. But, you know what's interesting? I think Detroit is going to be vastly improved because of the offensive coordinator hire. They hired the offensive coordinator from the Arizona Cardinals, who had Jacoby Brissett looking awesome this year. And now he's with the Detroit Lions. That's interesting. The Lions could be back. We'll see. I mean, no more Johnny Morton. Goodbye. See you later. But the problem with the Lions is they're very coordinator dependent. So they're going to live and die by whoever that is. Because I don't know that Dan Campbell... I think Dan Campbell is basically a rich man's Nick Sirianni. And that's not saying much. Because Nick Sirianni is a poor man's... he's a rich man's Adam Gase, I think. Well, not even. Adam Gase is just useless. Adam Gase is part of the Chargers organization now. How fitting is that? Oh, he's going to be in Justin Herbert's ear like, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. That's going to be awesome. Maybe Justin Herbert is officially screwed now. Maybe that's the final nail in the coffin for Justin Herbert. There you go, Ashley. Updated on screen. Thank you so much. But yeah, I don't, I'll tell you what, Adam Gase, I think I talked about this on Saturday, right? Adam Gase he can put together a hell of an opening drive. That's it. After that, he can just pack his stuff up and go home. Because there's nothing that he offers. Absolutely not. Sean Cantrell, I am so sorry that I missed you, man. Wait a minute. Where I just saw your name on some. Oh yeah, but you would have to give up something for Derek Carr. But it's not going to be a lot. I doubt it would be a lot, but they would have to throw the Saints something for Derek Carr. Samuel Miller, yes. Where is Sean Cantrell? There he is. Thanks for the shout out and having my back. Sean Cantrell, I'm so sorry. I missed you, man. You were just hanging out there in the crowd. And I just looked right over you. I did not mean to do that. I'd like to see the Saints do well. I have no reason to not want the Saints to do well. Here's something that's interesting, though. Let's say the Saints win that division this year. Because the Atlanta Falcons are another team that I'm like, I like the coaching hire. Let's see what they do. Let's see what happens with Kyle Pitts. I think they want Kyle Pitts back. But there's a possibility. Imagine, let's say the Kansas City Chiefs draft Mekhi Lemon and bring in Kyle Pitts. Are we looking at the Chiefs like they're done anymore? No. We're like, hell, maybe Kyle Pitts isn't close to what we thought he was going to be. But, I think Mahomes would just try to feed that dude over and over again. And Mekhi Lemon is a hell of a receiver. So that could be interesting. But remember, next year, so I'm going to assume Todd Bowles, this is going to be his last year as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks. He's not a good head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator, not a good head coach. I don't see him lasting beyond this year. Does that Tampa situation look appealing to Mike Tomlin? You know what I mean? He's getting a little older now. He gets to go down to Florida. He's got Baker Mayfield. Doesn't have to worry about his offense because he's got playmakers there and whatnot. So he's just like, let me go there and rebuild that defense. And my offense is set for a while. That could be appealing to Mike Tomlin, so that would make that division interesting. And the Panthers are on the rise, apparently. We'll see what happens. Let's see if that sticks. I don't know. Adam Gase, yeah, Justin Herbert is cooked. Yeah, he is like an offensive consultant or something. Is he going to be on the field? I don't know. What is he going to consult about? Is it offensive consultant? Because he offends me. I love the way the champions have each other's backs. You guys are awesome. I think the Lions will be gold, says Soldier. I think the Lions are going to be good. I think the Lions are going to be pretty good, man. I don't know. I think it's going to be an upgrade. I thought Carr said no to the Vikings. Did I misunderstand that discussion? Did he say no to the Vikings? I don't know. I don't see that anywhere. I'm just seeing that he's talking about I'd have to be healthy and have a chance to win a Super Bowl. So is he saying I'm not healthy right now? Is that what he's saying? I knew the Jets weren't going to be an option for him. And I told you guys I didn't want him because I don't want him getting my receivers killed. Sorry. Don't want him getting my receivers killed. Phil Quinn says the Falcons suck. Well, I'm a Kevin Stefanski guy. I like Kevin Stefanski. We'll see. We'll see. We don't know what Michael Penix is going to be. They're not going to bring back Kirk Cousins. Not that it would even matter if they did, but if Michael Penix can't stay healthy, that's his. I think Michael Penix can be a good quarterback. He just can't stay healthy. So if that is the case again this year, then they might be screwed. But again, next year is supposed to be a good quarterback draft, so we'll see. But I think that was a good move for them, bringing in Stefanski. If the Lions are good, the Bears take a step back. Somebody in that division has to take a step back, and maybe it's the Packers. I don't know. Soldier, what do you think? Because we got the Packers pick, so I'm hoping. I am going to be looking at the Packers and hate watching them all season. That would be excellent. If the Packers won like 5 games, I would be like, oh yes. And no offense to you, Soldier. I want you to be happy, but not at the expense of my New York Jets pick. No, we can't have that. If the Cowboys and the Packers struggle next year, and the Jets have whatever one is the higher pick, that's gonna be hell of a time. Next year's gonna go hard. I'm just telling you that right now. Especially if the Jets get Fernando Mendoza this year. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Packers taking a step back would be shocking. I don't know how the Bears take a step back. I honestly don't. Caleb's getting better. I don't. Some of you guys, and when I say some of you guys, I mean Loco and Soldier. Some of you guys, I don't think you're looking at Caleb the way you should be looking at Caleb. I know Loco actually came around to Caleb a little bit and said, no, yeah, he can actually ball, but he's getting better. Got Ben Johnson. I mean, I don't know, man. That guy, in close games, I don't know that there's a quarterback that can do what he does. Honestly, in close games. I mean, what he's done this year is remarkable. Is that just going to disappear? Is that just going to go away? I don't think so. There's already talk about him possibly being MVP next year. Now, that's lofty this early out. People have been talking about it. I mean, in a close game, right now, I think you would have to go. I might go Caleb over Josh Allen. And I don't think that's crazy. Not over Mahomes, not over Burrow. Maybe over Lamar. Just because I'm talking about Caleb with Ben Johnson, though. Not with Aaron F. and Glenn. But Bears do have a tough cap situation. Yeah, but they have the team that got them a game away from the NFC Championship. And they're a fairly young team. So, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland stepping up this year the way they did as rookies. I don't know that they're going anywhere. Not anytime soon. We'll see. Number 1 schedule is going to stomp the Bears. That's a fair point. We'll see. I'll take Bo in close games over Caleb, to be honest. Bo has done well in close games too. I would take Caleb because of the athleticism, the raw athleticism. Bo is fairly athletic, but he's not Caleb level athletic. But I mean, I don't know, man. Caleb has just done some incredible, I want to say the S curse word, but I'm not going to say it. He's done some incredible stuff this year. And maybe I'm looking at that and I'm fooled. Who knows? That's a possibility, but I don't think so. I don't think him and Ben Johnson are going anywhere. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we got a long way to go. We're going to see what they do in the draft. We're going to see what they do in free agency. We're going to be here for free agency. We're going to be talking all about it. So, plenty of time to discuss this and give our theories throughout the entire offseason. Mike Causey comes in with a tenor, says, can we just enjoy the absurdity that we live in a world where Sam Darnold is the first quarterback of the 2018 draft to win a Super Bowl, and Drew Lock is the first quarterback of the 2019 draft to get a Super Bowl ring. That is absurd. That is absurd. Sam, I'll tell you what, the Jets drafted a quarterback that prevented the Patriots from winning a Super Bowl. That's all I know. That's all I know. He didn't do it in Jet Green, but still. Man, I'm happy for Sam, and it's going to be interesting. That's another thing. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with another coordinator. Kubiak, it feels like Kubiak got very conservative with him throughout the playoffs because, he knows Sam can be wild. And so that tells me Kubiak is a smart guy. He knows, okay, we have a lead. Let's just make sure he doesn't do anything. Mike Causey is your number 4 contender, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Thank you very much, Mike Causey. So he got very conservative with him, which was smart. Is the next offensive coordinator going to be that type of guy? Is he going to have the wherewithal to be able to reel Sam in? We don't know. The chances of him being as good as Kubiak was with them are probably slim. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, how often do teams go from one great offensive coordinator to another great offensive coordinator? It doesn't happen a lot, but Mike Macdonald is a smart guy. I think he's going to make a smart hire. Did they hire anybody yet? I don't think so, but we'll see. It all depends. Does Sam mesh with that guy? And, it's going to be hard for Seattle. Everyone's looking at Seattle right now, just the same way we looked at Philly, a lot of us. I was there. I was like, man, that Philly defense, how are you going to beat that defense? That defense is insane. That's the way we're kind of looking at Seattle right now, but injuries happen. All sorts of things happen. But the good thing for Seattle, we've been going through year after year of teams with great head coaches, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, who are the guys who are calling the plays, offensive coordinators, essentially. You have good offensive play callers is what I should say, as head coaches. And you're like, that's a problem. Well, in Seattle, Mike Macdonald is a problem because he's so good at calling defensive plays. Maybe he can have less on that. And he's not even going to, because they're not going to have to get rid of anybody. But he could be the type of coach where with him, less is actually more because he knows what he's doing. So that's interesting. That's why when I look at Tennessee, the Robert Saleh situation is interesting because he's going to call defensive plays now. He didn't do that he didn't do anything with the Jets. I don't know what the hell he was just walking on the sidelines, brushing his teeth. But he's going to be calling defensive plays. So maybe he learned a little something, right? In his first stint with the Jets are there. They're like the first kid that you make mistakes with. Then you get the second kid and you do everything right. That's what the Jets are. But with Saleh, he is going to call the plays. So I would like that. If I'm a Tennessee fan, I'm looking at that. I'm saying, okay. And bringing in Brian Dable, who has head coaching experience and was he a good offensive coordinator, or did he just have Josh Allen who started to figure things out? That's what we're going to learn with Cam Ward. But that's a very interesting situation in Tennessee. So I think Saleh could actually succeed there. We'll see. He's coming out and he's saying these things. He went from all gas and no brakes to something similar. It's not the same exact thing, but it's kind of like all running and no walking. I don't know. He said something like that. I don't know. But is it going to be more than just catchphrases this year? Well, now that he's calling the defense, probably. And he has a guy that he can just hand the offense to. He doesn't have to worry about it. Clock management and everything is still going to be a problem for him, maybe, because maybe he learned something. But typically when guys have this issue with clock management as we saw with Herm Edwards and a lot of coaches back in the day, it's like they have a hard time figuring it out. It's just, but a lot of these younger coaches played Madden growing up. So, they were running 2-minute drills. They know how to manage a clock. They know how to use their timeouts. Mike Causey comes in with another fiver, says, if I'm Zach Wilson, I'd try to sign with the 49ers and back up Purdy for a year and then sign with the Vikings and just see what happens. That would be an ideal situation, man. That makes a lot of sense for Zach Wilson. But does Zach Wilson want to actually learn? You know what I mean? There's one thing, saying you want to learn is one thing, but actually going through the process of learning is a whole other thing in and of itself. Is he the guy who's going to sit there and really prepare and really study and try to understand the game, or is he just somebody who doesn't get it and kind of is like, all right, well, we'll just kind of coast and see what happens? I mean, I feel like that's who he is. He never struck me as somebody who wants to come in and learn. And the fact that he was with Mike McDaniel in Miami and they went to Quinn Ewers instead of him when they went away from Tua tells me everything I need to know. How do you go from starting for, what was it, 3 years with the Jets, or how he started a bunch of games for the Jets, to going there and now they're going right to Quinn Ewers instead of you? You're not even seeing the field. He saw the field a couple times for a few handoffs, I think. So that's one of the things with Zach Wilson that makes me think he's not going to be anything more than he has shown us. Mike Causey's up to 507. I'm going to get his name on screen once again. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, I mean, if you want to learn how to play quarterback, that's the place to go. But I mean, Kyle Shanahan moved off of Sam Darnold, which is strange, because right now, would you take Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy? I mean, well, let's take the Super Bowl out of it. After what you saw last year with Minnesota, take the. This is hard because I'm saying take this out of it, take that out of it, so it's hard. But I guess right now, because he won a Super Bowl, you would say, yeah, that would definitely take Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy. But let's say they lost. And it wasn't a game where Sam gave away or anything. It was just they kind of lost the game. You'd have to consider, more than consider, Sam Darnold. He's more durable. He's got a better arm. He's more athletic than Purdy. I mean, Purdy is an upgraded Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what I see. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Isaac's here. I want to know what revisionist history time. Will you tell me, wait a minute, Isaac, would you realistically be logical for a second? And when I'm saying logical, I mean, you can still say Brock Purdy, but just do it with logic, not because you just want to say, oh yeah, they made the right decision. Would you take Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy right now? If you told me in 2024 that the Niners made a mistake letting Darnold go, I'll give you $1 million. Okay, so I was a little surprised that they just let him go because Brock Purdy's not the healthiest guy. So for me, when they let Sam Darnold walk, it was kind of like, all right, do they not see something there? Not that Sam was good enough to overcome Brock Purdy, but they're holding on to Mac Jones right now for dear life. It's just like, make us an offer we can't refuse if you want Mac Jones. Like, why they didn't do that with Sam was a little bit of a head scratcher. And I thought, well, maybe Sam's just not that good. So he goes to Minnesota, and he wasn't even going to be the starter there. He just fell into it. So maybe the stint in Minnesota, maybe that is what really made him rise to the occasion. So, but I mean, forget about 2024. I'm talking about right now. Would you take Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy right now? I'm not blaming the Niners for getting rid of him, but I'm saying right now, because everybody wants to point at the Jets and be like, oh, look, the quarterback you let go won a Super Bowl, but it's like the Niners let him go, the Panthers let him go, and the Vikings let him go after winning 14 games and going to the playoffs. But let's make fun of the Jets. It's so easy. Niners might only take Darnold over Brock because of the contracts. Both are basically equals right now. Equals? Maybe. Again, Sam is way more durable. They're on the same tier. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I want to argue this point. I think Sam has more natural talent and he's more durable, which is why I'm elevating him. But in terms of, I feel like I see Sam make throws that Brock Purdy doesn't make. But Sam also has Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's got a good running game. I don't know. I would go Sam. I think Sam's the better quarterback, but it's hard to. We'll know in a couple of years. I think. Purdy deserved every bit of the money, though. You see, that's where I'll push back. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I take Purdy because he fits our team better. Yeah, Sam had JSN. That's true. That's true, Philip Quinn. That's true. And he had Kenneth Walker, so it's tough. It's tough to compare the situations after this season. But again, with Minnesota he had Justin Jefferson too, so it's kind of tough to compare these situations, I guess. All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you all that. I'll stop with my Brock Purdy hate, but I will be right about this. I'm not a believer in Brock Purdy. I don't know. I want it to be. I want that story, like that Mr. Irrelevant coming in, winning a Super Bowl. That would be a great story. I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think Brock Purdy, and again, we'll see what happens with Sam with a new offensive coordinator. Maybe it goes to hell for him. But I don't know. If Brock Purdy goes to another team, does he elevate that team? Was Kubiak was there with Geno, right? Because when McDonald was there year one, they had Geno, and then they were like, let's get Geno the hell out of here. Interesting. Mike Causey comes in with a 5 says, the Sam Darnold of the Niners is not the Sam Darnold of the Vikings. Seahawks players aren't static. Darnold has improved each of the last 3 years. Yeah, that's a fair point. It's totally a fair point. All right. You guys got me. You guys, I'm on your side. I'm on your side with this now. All right, I'll stop with the Brock Purdy stuff, but I still think Sam's better. Well, now he is. Well, I mean, it's exactly what Mike Causey said. It's not the same. When Sam was with the Niners, sure, but it did make me stop and think for a second though. Why didn't they hold on to him as at least a backup? Then it was like maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't like they don't like what they saw, or they were just like, he's ordinary. We can kind of get that anywhere. I don't know, but I do know they're holding on to Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is the answer. But that's another thing. So is Sam Darnold better than Mac Jones? Because I think when you bring in Mac Jones, and this is why they're holding on to him, there's not much of a difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. You might actually, Mac Jones might even be better. So what do you guys think about that? Is Mac Jones better, or am I crazy? Purdy saved Kyle Shanahan's job. He deserved $55 million for that alone. Okay, if you want to give it to him for that. The Raiders don't sign Malik Willis and trade the number 1. All right, so 67% of you think the Raiders are not going to trade that pick. That's fair. Kubiak was with the Saints 2 years ago. Okay, they had Ryan Grubb. Okay, Ryan Grubb year 1. Right. Okay. This whole Sam Darnold Brock Purdy debate is Aaron Glenn's fault, or has that ship sailed? No, that ship will never sail, and as long as he's the Jets head coach. What's going on, Nolan? I hope you're enjoying your Saints Super Bowl stuff. That's good. Congratulations to you. SG's here. Whoa, what's going on? Just got out of my last midterm for the week. How are we? We're doing well. We're driving Isaac crazy with Sam Darnold talk. He wishes Sam Darnold was his quarterback, and he's pretending that he doesn't wish that. Let's see, Mac Jones impressed me, but then again, it was Kyle Shanahan's system. But that's what I'm saying with Brock Purdy. Is it Kyle Shanahan's system? So, I mean, how many guys could we put in that? Except for Trey Lance, who obviously can't run any system. But how many guys could we put in that system that we consider mid that would be better. I mean, if you put Kirk Cousins in that system, who we know Kyle Shanahan wanted because, of his history with him, would he operate that at this advanced stage? Would he operate that system better than Purdy? Maybe not, because he's not mobile. But Mac Jones isn't mobile. Mac Jones was operating it pretty well. I don't know that there's not. The thing is, they paid Purdy all that money when you could have had Mac Jones for much cheaper and pretty much gotten the same result, if not maybe a better result. That's the way I see it. I don't know. The great Mac Jones is clearly the right choice. He's magnificent. That's what they call him, Magnificent Matt. I don't know if you knew that. Rich, they had arguments on first things first about Mac versus Purdy, and Purdy easily clears for their debates. So Purdy over Mac easily clears. Well, it's kind of easy to go with Purdy because the mobility. For me, that is it. That's where it begins and ends, though. I think Mac Jones is better at reading a defense. As far as arm strength and what I think Mac Jones is more accurate, but as far as arm strength, there's not much of a drop off at all. I think that's pretty much the same. But mobility is a big deal. I'm not going to downplay it. Mobility is a big deal. So Purdy is absolutely more mobile than Mac Jones is. Mac Jones is essentially a statue. I have the same opinion as Nick Wright, which is making you giggle. Me and Nick Wright, we do share some same opinions from time to time. What's going on, Warhood? Don't come in hot today, Warhood. Let's see. My problem with Purdy is he's pretending he's Patrick Mahomes. Dude, you excelled when you were assistant quarterback. Keep doing that. That's a fair point, Isaac. I like that you said that. Yeah. And again, to be fair to Purdy, he hasn't. His offensive weapons are aging. He hasn't really had a true number one receiver. You know what I mean? Like Sam did JSN this year. He had Justin Jefferson last year. I mean, what would Purdy do with a guy like that? Yeah, Debo. But I mean, I don't. To me, Debo's not in the same league as those guys. I mean, he was a good receiver, good at what he did, but not in that league. So yeah, Warhead says, "What do you mean coming in hot?" Warhead comes in hot sometimes. You know what I mean? You come in with your Chargers stuff and you start yelling at everybody. So Bryce of Young is a grown man. Yes. Quote made specifically for Isaac. Sir Bryce of Young is a grown man. He is. He played like a grown man this year. So Niners missed the playoffs and the Giants make it. You think that happens? It's possible. I don't know. I don't know about the Giants making it, man. I don't know. Yeah, Debo's not even the same caliber as JJ or JSN. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I want to put him in that category. So cardiac hero or villain? Oh. Villain. Oh, what a nice belt. Look, here is PFA, by the way. Yeah, it's Philip Quinn. There's many belts on screen, as you can see. We've got Sean Cantrell's Demon Lord title and Ashley's television title right there. We have all the champions represented. And this is Darren Muji, by the way. Say hi. We haven't talked about Darren Muji. I'll talk about that. Well, tomorrow morning we'll have some tea, and I'll tell you all about Darren Muji. It's going to be a brilliant, brilliant story. I doubt it. The Giants have a terrible coaching staff. I'm so interested to see what happens. They do have Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, and Cam Scatterbo, and the left tackle. So that's something. And I think their defense is better than they showed this year. I don't think that we're going to see the same thing. Well, I mean, but then when we're talking about fourth quarter collapses, and it's got Harbaugh's name written all over it. So, Dan Rugi, how do you spell that? Dan Rugi. Darren Mougie. Mougie. Dan Rougie. Oh, PFA says hi, everyone. SG says PFA. Soldier says PFA. Ashley says PFA. Soldier agrees with me. Yeah. I like it. So, I mean, Venom, hero or villain, too. Give me that one. My opinion on the NFC South, Saints win a division next year. Falcons regress. Can the Falcons regress any more than they've just been kind of like, Bucks held hostage by Bulls. Yeah, Panthers second best team in the division. I could see that happening. I could absolutely see that happening. I don't think that's strange at all, Philip Quinn. Dart and Scatterbo are fragile. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Scatterbo's fragile, but he makes himself fragile by playing like a maniac, and Dart makes himself fragile by trying to play like Scatterbo. Dart is being coached by Greg Roman and Matt Nagy. He's screwed. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Sounded like Dan Rouge. You know, Darren Mougie, this is the man who's going to make sure the New York Jets are the best team in the NFL very soon. Very soon. It's going to happen very soon. You heard it here first. I still think we make it, to be honest. We do need a good draft and take the next step, however, which I do not see it happening. Well, yeah, I mean, the problem with the Niners is they're aging. And now you lost. Well, you brought in Raheem Morris as your DC, right? That was a good move. We'll see what they do in the draft. John Lynch has been pretty good at drafting. Could be worse, could be the Chargers. Philip Quinn says PFA. Sean Cantrell says PFA. Preferred villain. Yeah, me too. Me too, as far as Venom goes. I hated when they turned him into Lethal Enforcer or whatever the hell they called him. All of a sudden it was like, I don't kill anyone unless they get in my way of trying to kill Spider-Man. It was like, wait, what? No, that's not accurate. Harbaugh can't steal signs in the NFL. He's a bummer quarterback. Yeah, especially the Flash Thompson Venom. My God. I would love to be John Harbaugh's friend. Giants and Chargers both have washed Harbaughs. Yeah, these I'll tell you, these hires by the Giants they're head scratchers for sure. Head scratchers for sure. Oh, get out of here, Tim Daniel. You wish you had a general manager. Wait, you have Howie Roseman. Okay. But Howie Roseman is no Darren Mougie, and you're going to see that. Because Darren Mougie there are certain aspects, okay? It's like when you're playing, let's say, Dungeons and Dragons, and you have attributes, right? Howie Roseman has some pretty good attributes. You're looking at and you're like, oh, he's good here, he's good here. Okay, that's pretty cool. But Darren Mougie, you look at him, and it's like, cap management, 99 overall, that's crazy. The value he gets in trades, wow. That's insane. Talent evaluation, 99, wow, oh my God, wait a minute. Let's look at the very wise and sage like Darren Mougie for a second. Best GM in the league. That's what's going to happen. Yes, I heard the James Pierce Jr. story. It took like 10 cops to bring him down. That was insane. And they traded up for him, too. Man. So, Ashley, he had some kind of... so he was their first round pick this year. They traded up for him. A hell of a player. But he was like, he got into like a high-speed chase and like crashed his car into his girlfriend's or something like that. Something crazy, something along those lines, where he was being physically aggressive with his significant other, and did not go well for him. Been arrested on assault charges. Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's a crazy story. I'd rather stop watching football than be a Falcons fan. Well, we would take you as a... This is one thing that I wanted to tell you guys, too, is I am having open casting call for anybody who wants to trade in their fandom for Jets fandom. Right now. This is the time to do it, because we see what's happening. We see what's brewing. Fernando Mendoza is still on the table. I don't care what anybody says. So if you guys want to, no questions asked. I will just accept you with open arms, and we will never mention it again. That's it. So it's up to you guys. Yeah, he rammed his car. That was crazy. He rammed her car off the road. Oh yeah, the Scorpion became Venom. They got crazy with that stuff. Did you see the Batman versus Absolute Batman too? That was pretty incredible. That was pretty incredible. That is real. That is real. Yep, for sure. Jets actively recruiting fans. The five of them must be fighting. Yeah. I'll have you know, if you recall, Loco, it wasn't that long ago when your Denver Broncos were the laughing stock of the league. So let's just remember that. Let's just remember that. 5 out of 6 teams that rank number one in both offensive and defensive DVOA in the same season have won the Super Bowl. The only one not to, the 23 Ravens. Oh, there was another thing that I saw was the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Like, so what year was it that the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, and then the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl the year after them, and then the Bears lost the Super Bowl the year after them, and now it's like the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. So now, if we follow that trend, the Bears will win the Super Bowl next year. I mean, I don't know, Sean Cantrell. That's got to bring a smile to your face. So it was the Eagles lost Super Bowl. Which was 2020? No, they won the Super Bowl in 2023. 2005. Right? No. Yeah. No, they won the Super Bowl. What year did they lose the Super Bowl? Yeah, 2005, 2006, 2007. That's what it is. 2025, 2026, 2027, says Tim Daniel. He knows. 04, 05, 06. I remember clearly the years without a playoff win felt like ages. It's Mougey, Mougey. Yeah. Did I say IE? I meant it was. I have to. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't want to disrespect the very wise and sage like Darren Mougey. It's with the Y. Mougey. There was another thing. He was asked a question about Aaron Rodgers, and the way he handled that answer was perfect. It was just, it was a thing of beauty. They were asking him, so Aaron has talked about, when he came in for that talk with you guys, is there any truth to any of that? And he was just kind of like, I'm here to talk about the draft. That was it. That was it. I think that was last year. Anyway. Bears made it to so 2005 was the Eagles, 2006 was the Seahawks, 2007 was the Bears, then, if those are the correct years, or 4, 5, and 6. So whichever it was Eagles, Seahawks, Bears. So if we're following that trend, then the Bears are your 2027 or 2026, Super Bowl champions. That Bears quarterback was better than both Sam Darnold and Drake May. You talking about the great Rex Grossman? Is that who you're talking about? Oh, boy. The great Rex Grossman. But yeah, the very wise and sage like Darren Mougey, he's got the quarterback developers there just waiting, hanging out, waiting for the quarterback. Is it going to be Fernando Mendoza? It could be. Let's see what the Raiders do. Bob Sanders was insane. He was insane. That wasn't crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. Seahawks part ways with former Super Bowl winning head coach, hire defensive play caller as a replacement, win Super Bowl within 2 years. Ravens part ways with former Super Bowl winning head coach, hire defensive play caller as a replacement. ... says SG. He only put 3 dots though. I added the other 2 because I felt like he needed to add the other 2. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think everybody's overlooking the Jets, and I think they're going to make a big, massive statement. It's going to be starting this draft. I'm going to be impossible to live with if somehow the Jets end up getting Fernando Mendoza. Ooh. Oh my God. I know I have the March for Arch stuff going on. I'll put that on the back burner and say, yeah, okay, fine, go. Whatever. I don't care. We get Mendoza, then all of a sudden it's like, now I want to see improvement. Now I want to see improvement. Let's go. I'd just like to recall the fact that a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers led Colts put up more points on Seattle than May did on Sunday. Bad clip. Yeah, he did. He did. Drake May, even Chris Collinsworth was kind of like, ew, this guy. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. Don't know what to do with him. Wait, did SG say something bad about the... Ashley said them's fighting words, SG, so I thought maybe he said something bad about the Bengals. I don't know. Maybe suggesting the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, saying something bad about the Bengals. Phillip Rivers, forgot about him. Oh, I love Phillip Rivers. Glad he's not going to be the Buffalo Bills head coach, though, because the Buffalo Bills are on their way to being embarrassed by the New York Jets at least twice a year. So the Patriots next year, that's going to be an interesting story because now they're not going to have that easy schedule. So are they realistically with a normal schedule? And I don't like to use the schedule excuse, but it's hard when you historically look at the win-loss record of the teams they played and look at every other year in NFL history. What is it, like it was considered the easiest schedule in 50 years? That's tough to ignore that. So now that they're going to have a tough schedule, what are they going to be? We'll find out. Oh, she was just reacting to the Rivers thing. Okay. So May is the schedule. Josh Allen's the rule book. Yeah. Maybe the AFC East quarterbacks aren't as terrifying as I thought they were. So we get Fernando. I'm back on the Fernando Mendoza train. SG, I mentioned it earlier. I talked about the heel turn on Fernando Mendoza, and I'm reversing that. I just went into the ring. He's standing there. I apologized to him. I shook his hand, and then we put our hands up together. That's where we are right now. The heel, I might turn heel on him again at some point, but right now, I'm back on the Mendoza train. Easiest schedule in Super Bowl era. Yeah. I tried to avoid using the schedule narrative too, but I mean, we saw on Sunday was a team that looked like they didn't deserve to be there at all. Yeah, and I was, my narrative was there are no easy schedules, but then when I saw that, and then it was like, wait, maybe there are easy schedules. Best NFL slander nickname is If Man for Herbert. Yeah. I mentioned that in one of my skits, I believe. What in the Shield? You guys are Shields. Oh, you mean like, oh, yeah. The WWE Shield. I thought you meant like the Shield that's like next to your names now. For a second, I was a little lost. Hey, listen, that's wrestling though, SG. 1 minute, we're buddies. Next minute, we hate each other. And then we're buddies again. Then we hate each other again. That's the way it goes. That's why wrestling's awesome. What is everyone's hottest take for next year that you actually believe? Okay. My hottest take, and I think it's the hottest take of them all, is that Will Levis will be resurrected with the right coach. Maybe that's Mike LaFleur. Maybe that's Kevin O'Connell. But I think Will Levis will be resurrected. And we will see what Will Levis should have been. That's my hot take. And I think it could happen. Joey B is grateful to Herbert for taking the If Man moniker. But the thing that Joey B has in his holster is the fact that he got to a Super Bowl with no offensive line. I mean, in his second year. Joe Burrow clears Justin Herbert by a mile. By a mile. Oh, that analogy was perfect, SG. That was perfect. Give Levis Justin Jefferson and we'll find out. Yeah. Give him Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell. We will absolutely find out. I think we're on the verge of seeing a Will Levis Renaissance. The Will Levis Renaissance, it'll be known as. And it's going to be a lot of fun. JB comes in with a tour, says, I also think the Bills missed the playoffs. That's tough. Because there is a real possibility they just have a cakewalk division win. If the Patriots, I mean, I know the Patriots beat them twice, but the Jets aren't going to be anything. They shouldn't be anything anyway. I mean, unless they do draft Mendoza and it's like we're locked in, we're going to try to win games now. But the Jets and the Dolphins, that should be 4 wins for the Bills. So somebody has to win that division. I don't know if the Patriots will win that division again. So it could happen. You could be right, but I don't think it will. And Josh Allen, I mean, in season, the guy's incredible. You know, and they're not changing the offense up. Still the same offensive play caller. So, and maybe they draft, they'll probably draft a receiver. They might draft Boston or somebody the end of the first. So, you know, maybe I think that'll actually help out that passing game. But we'll see. It's the division thing. It's not that the Bills are good. It's just they might have a cakewalk throughout that division. Will we see Sir Will of Levis? That's the hope. If we have a Sir Will of Levis day, we're going to have a party. One like we've never seen in the Demonverse. Mayonnaise boy ain't a quarterback, says Tim Daniel. He might be a better quarterback than Jalen. Are we sure Jalen Hurts is a quarterback, honestly? Come on. Is Jalen Hurts a quarterback? He can't throw over the middle of the field, man. Xavier Woods just picked off a Sprite intended for Rashard Higgins on a play fake to Christian McCaffrey. That was when Sam Darnold was going through it. He couldn't even throw a burrito across the cafeteria. We need a Will Levis redemption story. Yeah, the 2023 quarterback class is starting to look a little rough. It is. Yep. Jalen Hurts gets benched for Tua, who the Eagles trade for midseason. Well, Tua's going to get cut. That seems like the most logical thing for Miami to do is just to cut him. So I think he's just going to get cut. I think the Bills' defense regresses without McDermott. That's true, yeah. That's true. I do think their defense regresses. But again, that division could just be easy. And when you have Josh Allen, you're going to win games, regardless of the defense. They might lose stupid games they should win. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I see 4. You come into the season with like 4 wins under your belt already. I mean, 2 against Miami, 2 against... but Miami always plays them pretty tough, right? But did they lose to Miami this year? Hold on. Let me look at the Bills' schedule. Who did the Bills lose to this year? Beat the Jets, of course. Beat the Dolphins, beat the Saints, lost to the Patriots by 3, lost to the Falcons. That's crazy. Beat destroyed the Panthers, beat the Chiefs, and they lost to the Dolphins once. Tua like has Josh Allen's number, man. Yeah. So all right, I'll give them 2 wins. We have to see what the situation is with the Dolphins. Their defense might be improved. So, you know, like at 2, we already have McKee. He should probably be starting, honestly. I'm telling you, man, Jalen Hurts is not an NFL quarterback. You can say Will Levis ain't it, Jalen Hurts ain't it. I know he won a Super Bowl, whatever, but if we're going to look at Sam Darnold and be like, well, look at the team he had, how do you not look at Jalen Hurts and say the same thing? But you see, that goes hand in hand with Trent Dilfer's argument of maybe give the quarterbacks a percentage of the team and let that be their incentive to stay, and it doesn't count against the salary cap, so you can build a regular roster. Because we're getting Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts Super Bowls, and maybe we should be getting Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes Super Bowls. I mean, maybe if the Bills bring this up in a meeting, it'll happen. Jets could randomly beat them at MetLife. We have no idea what the Jets are going to be, though. I have no reason to believe the Jets are going to be any ounce. They could have Geno Smith starting. No clue what they're going to be next season. We might not have Breece Hall. I don't think. So here's the interesting thing. I'm almost positive they're going to tag Breece Hall, but we still have AVT. He's always hurt. So that's the hard part. But those are the two guys that would be up for this. Quincy Williams too, but we're not tagging him. But those are the two guys that would be worth tagging, one of them. And it depends on what AVT would want salary-wise. I think Darren Muji's going to know what to do. But I think he's going to tag Breece Hall. And he's not going to trade him unless he gets what he wants. And in the offseason, he wanted a third rounder. Maybe he wants a little more now. Maybe he's like, there's no sense in trading him for a third. They don't have a third this year, so maybe, I mean, there are some good running backs that could fall to there. So, and again, you have Braylon Allen coming back. Isaiah Davis looks pretty good. So maybe you're like, yeah, okay, we'll part with a third, but they might do the tag and trade with him. We'll see. But I don't think they're just going to be, people are just thinking he's going to be out there in free agency. They're going to let him walk and he's going to be a Chicago Bear. I don't think that's going to happen. Or a Saint. I'm not a Saint. It could be, no, he can't be a Saint. Saints have no money. Could be Chief is what I mean. The great Trent Dilfer. Or just have a quarterback that cares more about legacy. That's true. Yeah. That is true. Jets might actually successfully clean house and just build. Yeah, but they're not. I mean, they're not going to do it foolishly. They're not going to just let a guy like Breece Hall leave. You know, in terms of the coaching staff, I mean, if the Frank Reich hire was interesting, and because the way Boomer Esiason's talking about it, because they're friends, Boomer Esiason's on WFAN, and he comes out and he's like, yeah, my buddy Frank Reich said that. Whatever the Jets proposed to him, he was thrilled with, according to Boomer Esiason. Frank Reich was like, this is perfect. This is an awesome situation for me. So I don't know what that is. Was it a promise that you're going to be head coach if this doesn't work out for Aaron Glenn? You know, is it we're going to tank? Wink. You know, we're going to get you Arch Manning and we want you to develop him. I mean, I don't know what it was, but he's excited to be there, and why somebody would be excited to be on a team that just won 3 games and looks like they have a mess of a head coach. I was a former teammate of Aaron Glenn, so I'm sure he likes him personally, but still, it's kind of a head scratcher. From week 12, tank off season, we're getting Mendoza playing for a playoff berth. What Rich will be after the draft. Oh man, this is why I'm so excited. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to keep a close eye on what the Raiders are going to do. I kind of want them to do the Malik Willis thing. It's hard because I don't want to give up the draft capital if we're going to be bad. Because then I'm like, well, we can get a quarterback next year. But I want Mendoza, so I've wanted Mendoza so bad. So now I'm like, okay, if they go Malik Willis, that's a great situation for Mendoza to come in with Musgrave there, with Frank Reich there, with that offensive line. And then we still might have the 44th overall pick and probably 2 firsts next year. That's incredible. How many teams get to trade up for their franchise quarterback and then still go into the following draft with 2 firsts? Usually that first is gone. Usually you're mortgaging your future for a little while. So no one else would hire Frank. That's why he's hyped. I mean, that's a possibility. Jets trade up with the Corley pick. Oh, man. Which one is this? The Malachi Corley one? Draft day? Man, look at the aesthetic. That aesthetic was crazy. Let's see.
The Jets
you guys
have
hear
to
that?
take Malachi Corley here. The Jets have.
Let me see if I can get this on screen so you guys can see it. Hold on. Can I get this on screen? I should be able to. Hold on. Yeah. What is that? I look at that crazy logo that I have on screen. I'm gonna put this on screen instead of me. There we go. Okay, let me play it. You guys can hear this, right?
Malachi Corley here. If they don't take Malachi Corley, dude, I am going to be upset.
What did I do? I just hit pause like an idiot.
Now he's about to read the name that's on the card. Thank you. Quarterback Renardo Green. Don't tell me who the Jets. Kindly ask all of you not to do that. The Jets have to take Malachi Corley here. The Jets have to take Malachi.
You can hear what's
Corley
going on.
If they don't take Malachi Corley, dude, I am going to be upset.
Then we got the other one. Hold on.
Now he's about to read the name. There we go. Braylon, you can take as much time as you want, man. Take as much time as you want. I don't care. Here we go. They just brought everyone together. So, all right.
My fingers are all in my eyes. PFA tells me I do that all.
Malachi Corley.
There we go.
Oh,
I'm going to send myself a copyright
beautiful.
strike.
Compact, quick hitters, the Yak King. This guy is a monster. 5'10",
Yeah.
215. I love it. Every step of the way. This is phenomenal.
This
Let's
is
watch this guy's
phenomenal.
highlights. Look at him.
Oh, look at him. Malachi Corley. Where is he now? He's in the Browns somewhere, I think. Who knows? Oh, boy. Yeah. Malachi Corley. Robert Saleh was like, we're not starting you ever. I'm gonna send Joe Douglas a picture of you. I'm gonna text him a picture of you, but we're never gonna start you. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Thursday night, Demonverse After Dark. This is gonna be a thing. Again, except for PFA's birthday. That's on the 26th. I'm going to make that like a Thursday night instead or something. I'm sorry, a Wednesday night instead or a Friday night. But probably Wednesday night because Friday night's a little rough. But Thursday night, Demonverse After Dark. We're going to be here all off season, hanging out, having a good time, talking football. If the Raiders sign Malik Willis, is it still Aaron Glenn's fault? I'm not. No, no. That's Darren Muji's magic. If they sign Malik Willis. That is Darren Muji's magic, not Malik Willis's fault. No, I'm sorry, Aaron Glenn's fault. Let's go Chargers, says Warhood. Look, he's coming in hot again with this Charger stuff, Warhood. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you to Philip Quinn, your Demonverse champion, the supreme ruler of the stream. Thank you to Sean Cantrell and Ashley, your champions. Thank you to everybody who donated. You guys are awesome. This was a lot of fun. This 2 hours went by like nothing. I mean, man. Talking to you guys time just flies by. When we don't have, especially when we don't have like a Thursday night game that's a snooze fest. Good God. But yeah, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. sharp, we'll be right here. I'll be sitting right here with Lord Chair. We'll be looking in the chat to see who shows up. That's right. But seriously, thank you guys. More content coming out. I should have something up tomorrow. Saturday morning, this is another thing I wanted to tell you guys. I'm going to be releasing videos on Saturday morning. There's going to be one up this Saturday morning. It's going to be the compilation sort of thing that's got, a little few bonuses added in there. And I'm also working on a new NFL lore that's going to take me a second to get out. Those take a long time. But I got a lot of content coming your way. Not doing Saturday morning lives. I'm going to be doing the video release Saturday morning. This is what I wanted to ask you guys, though. Do you like when I release a video, when I do the countdown, like the intro where you guys can hang out in a live chat, or do you like it better when I just release it? Because you know, I was doing that for a while. I know some of you guys would get together and go in there and like chat while the video is about to go live, but I stopped doing that. Somebody told me like, oh, it's not really good to do on YouTube and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, all right, I won't do that. But then I was like, well, wait, if my people like it, then I'm going to do it. Well, you know, what the hell? I'm going to do what they like. So let me know. You can let me know either on Discord or if you're on Patreon, you could message me on Patreon and let me know. But for PFA, for Lucas and Astro, for Lorraine, who watches every single stream, and we know that she's happy that the Seahawks won because they're Greenbirds, I am Rich Jodice, the Pro Football Demon, and I will see you guys really soon. Take care.